Bad habits are like weeds. They spread and grow until they take over everything. But just because you have a bad habit doesn't mean you can't change it. Here are 12 bad habits that can stop your success if left unchecked. Number 1. Checking social media most of the time. Social media is good. It's a way to keep up with the latest news and trends, allowing us to connect with people worldwide. But when you're trying to be productive, social media can be incredibly distracting. Social media is the ultimate productivity killer. Again, social media is good, but not suitable for everyone. It's a time waster and puts you in a negative mindset. It can be hard to stop yourself from checking it when you're bored or feeling lonely. But when focusing on essential tasks, it's better to avoid the temptation altogether. You can try setting up a rule for yourself that says no social media until this task is done. Or even just make sure that you turn off all notifications so you won't be tempted to check in when something notifies. You are what you do. That's why making sure your habits reflect your goals is important. When you're not doing the things that will help you succeed, you're holding yourself back from being able to achieve those goals. Number 2. Comparing yourself to others. One of the worst habits you can have is comparing yourself to others. You don't get a clear picture of your progress when you compare yourself to others. When comparing yourself to others, you're not thinking about how far you've come or how far you still have to go. You're just stuck in this weird cycle of trying to catch up with someone else, making it hard to focus on what's important. Doing the things that will make you successful. You will meet people who are more successful than you, and that's inevitable. But there's no need for them to be your measuring stick. Instead of worrying about what other people are doing, focus on your goals and work towards them. The only person whose success matters is yours, because when you realize that's true, everything else falls into place. Number 3. Trying to do too many things at once. Trying to do too many things at once is a bad habit that will stop your success. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a new venture. But if you're not focused on one thing at a time, it will be hard to see results. It will be even harder to achieve your goals. So how do you know when you've got too much on your plate? You might be trying too hard if you're constantly tired because you haven't been able to sleep well in days. You feel like you can't focus on anything or anyone because there are so many things you need to do. You're constantly distracted because your mind is racing with all the tasks that need to be completed. Suppose you're trying to juggle too many projects or responsibilities. In that case, you'll feel stressed, overwhelmed, and like you're not doing anything well. You must focus on one thing at a time to succeed and achieve your goals. This will help you get better results in less time, so you can move on to the next task on your list. Number 4. Complaining a lot. If you want to be successful, you have to stop complaining about everything. That's one of the most common habits that will keep you from reaching your goals. Complaining will not get you anywhere, whether it's the weather, your job, or the fact that your boss doesn't appreciate you. Instead of complaining about things and how they should be, just try to improve them. You need to focus on what you want, not what's bothering you. You probably know that complaining is bad for you, but you might not realize just how bad it can be. The more often you complain, the more negative people you're surrounded with, and the less likely it is that you'll succeed in any way. If you want to make your dreams come true, start by changing this habit. You can still complain, but just do it privately or with someone who wants to hear about your problems. Number 5. Blaming people instead of being accountable. When you're looking to achieve your dreams, it can be easy to blame others for the obstacles in your way. But blaming others is a bad habit that will stop your success in its tracks. Instead of blaming other people, take ownership of your situation and figure out how you can solve the problem yourself. When you don't have to rely on other people for help or information, you'll be able to move forward with confidence in your ability to solve the issue on your own. If you're always blaming other people for your problems, you'll never be able to fix those situations or move past them. The only person who can change the situation is you. So, take the initiative and do it. Number 6. Spending money on unnecessary things. Do you ever feel you're wasting money on stuff that doesn't matter? You know, like buying new clothes when your old ones are excellent, or getting takeout because it's so much easier than cooking a healthy meal at home. Here's the thing. To be successful in life, you must learn how to prioritize and make smart choices about spending your money. To be successful, you must make sure you're spending money on what matters most. That means saying no to those unnecessary purchases and yes to investing in things that will help you get ahead in life. Number 7. Procrastinate on tasks. It's easy to get distracted by the little things in life. A fun video on Instagram, an interesting article on your favorite news site, or even a good nap. Why do it now when you can do it later? Procrastination is the enemy of success. If left unchecked, it can destroy your progress. When trying to progress towards your goal, it is important not to allow distractions to get in the way. Your productivity will suffer if you let yourself get caught up in all the minutiae of daily life, and that's not good for anyone. Number 8. Being afraid of failure. The only way to be successful is to keep trying and learning from your mistakes, even if it means failing along the way. It's hard to be successful if you're afraid of failing. You need to be able to take risks and not worry about what people think if you fail. It's easy to get down on yourself when trying to achieve a goal, and things don't go according to plan. But if you're afraid of failing, you might not even try. It's essential to keep a positive mindset and remember that everyone fails at some point. It's just part of the journey. Number 9. Holding grudges. Holding grudges is a bad habit that can seriously hold you back from success. Grudges are wasted energy, and if you're angry or resentful about something that happened in the past, it's time to let it go. You have more important things to focus on, like your goals and dreams. When you keep holding grudges against yourself, it can be hard to move forward and change the things that aren't working. You may have a bad habit of saying or thinking things like, "I'll never get this right," or "I'm just not good enough." If these thoughts constantly swirl in your head, they might hurt your chances of success. Number 10. You're a perfectionist. Being a perfectionist is a good thing, but it can also be one of the worst habits you can have. When you're a perfectionist, every little detail has to be perfect. You want every paragraph to sound like it's been written by Shakespeare, and every sentence to flow flawlessly. And that's great. But perfectionism becomes bad for your success when you're trying to get something done and spending all your time nitpicking over details instead of doing the work. It's easy to feel like you have to be perfect to succeed. But the fact is, we can never be perfect, and that's not what success is about. One of the most important skills you can develop is accepting your mistakes and making adjustments along the way. Number 11. Ungrateful to those who help you. What's one of the biggest reasons why people fail? They're not thankful for what they have. To be successful, you need to be grateful for the people who help you along the way. You can't do it all on your own. You need your friends and family, co-workers, mentors, and even strangers to help you get where you want to go. Being grateful isn't just about saying thank you. It's also about showing appreciation for what others have done for you by letting them know how much their support means and making sure they know how much they mean to you. Number 12. Not keeping to your commitments. Commitment is the key to success. If you don't commit to things, you'll never achieve them. Every time you commit, it's a promise that you're making to yourself. If you're not going to keep it, why make it? The best way to ensure this doesn't happen is to write down your goals and plan how they will be achieved. That way, when you feel like giving up or not taking action, you can look at your plan and remind yourself why it's so important. The path to success is long, and it's much easier to get sidetracked than you think. Whether you are trying to be successful in life or business, this quote is incredibly true. Bad habits can stop your success in many ways. We all have bad habits, and sometimes it feels like they're part of our identity. But the truth is, we can change those habits and do better for ourselves.